Hi, it's Max at Joker's Comedy Club with this week's headliner, Phil Johnson.
Hey, it's me. Good to see you, Max.
Good to see you. So you're on the road now, huh?
Yeah, it's actually my girlfriend is super excited to have the bed do all to herself for the first time in 2 years. This is my first run out of town. I've been doing little local stuff in the Bay Area where I live, but yeah, it's nice to be back on the road. And it kind of feels like I never left. Like the last couple of days have been like, oh yeah, I remember. I remember how to do this. This is
Oh
good.
yeah, truck stop coffee, and yeah, I remember
Exactly. Yes, living in a gas
27
station, states, 4 or 5 other countries. Yeah, it's been exciting. I'm excited to get back to it.
There's a lot of comedians. Some are doing podcasts too on the road, comedy on the
Sure.
road and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
you have any strange happenings in your travels before?
Oh, I mean, one of the oddest ones was I was driving from Billings, Montana to Glasgow, Montana, which should have been about a, I don't know, 3 or 4 hour drive or something like that. It took us 12 hours to get there because it was snowing sideways the entire time. I slid off the road twice. I had to have a tow truck come out to unwrap the chains that had been wrapped around my axle. One of the times I slid off the road, a cop gave me a ticket, and then and by the time we were getting there, it was so dark and snowy that I was literally driving by the green line on my GPS because I couldn't see the road at all. And I was just like, well, I hope the GPS doesn't drive us off a cliff because we are completely blind. And so we got to the venue. Thank God there was an audience. Otherwise, I would have killed somebody. And I told my feature act, it was her first time on the road. She quit comedy soon after. And I said, Candy, go do your set. I'm going to take a nap. And I opened with, hey, you guys, we were in Glasgow, Montana. I said, I got to Glasgow, Scotland in less time than it took to get to Glasgow, Montana today. So yeah, that was one of the weirder trips. But yeah, mostly it's just staring at the dotted line on the road and trying not to fall asleep.
Wow, yeah, that's a bad one. So in Montana, so they play in bars then, pretty much, right? Montana, they don't have real.
Back then, yeah, that was. I mean, that story was a long time ago, but yeah, I do, whatever kind of venue presents itself to me. I like, as long as there's a room full of people, I'm a happy boy.
Yeah. So it's been a while since you've been to Jokers, I know.
It has. I want to say it's been 3 years, although I feel like the last two don't count. So so if we leave out those 2 years, then I was just there last year, Max. That's how it works.
Oh, okay.
That's how we're counting time now. My girlfriend just yesterday, she was like, I don't feel like 2021 even existed. And I was like, yeah, I have to agree. So yeah, it's been a little while since I've been there. So I'm excited to come back. I got a whole new show I'm touring. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
Like a time warp. Do you have a new comedy album or something out, or is a podcast? I saw something.
Yeah, I released my fourth comedy special in late 2020. It's called Burning Sensation, and it was a long show to write. It took me about 4.5 years to write that show, and then another year to actually get it on film and out and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's the latest thing. I've written a whole new show since then, and so that's what I'll be bringing to you guys this weekend.
I don't really know much about your history as far as what did your parents do to you to make you become a comedian? But horrible.
My girlfriend keeps asking me the same thing. She's like, "Why? Why do you need this appreciation from strangers?" My parents are fantastic, but they were both in the arts. I come from a musical background. And so my dad was a folk singer in the 60s. My mom played Hawaiian slack guitar. And so there's art in my family. My brother is a composer and an actor. And so this kind of stuff runs in the family. So I came from a music background. I have a degree in jazz guitar. And I wrote a couple of funny songs almost 18 years ago now. And those are the songs that started to click with people. And they were like, oh, you should do that. And I was like, no, that's goofy B-side stuff. I'm a serious musician. And they were like, no, we can't get those songs out of our head. They're really catchy. And so I got my first comedy gig was at a place called the Hyena Theater in San Francisco. And the MC that night was a lady named Lynn Ruth Miller, who just recently passed away. She was so great. And she was starting her own career at the age of 72, her own comedy career. She was amazing. And she said, hey, you know what? I need a guitar player for my act. will you come play guitar for me? And I said, sure. What are we doing? And she said, well, you're going to play Anarchy in the UK by the Sex Pistols while I throw lingerie at the audience. And I was like, how do you say no to that? That sounds like an amazing good time. And so she started taking me around to some of the local gigs in the Bay Area. And then she'd go, hey, he's got material. Why don't you put him up to whoever was producing the show? And they started putting me up. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. And for the first couple of years, I was just living on my, the first few songs that I'd written.
Mhm.
And then I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, then I should actually learn how to do this. And so that's when I started actually writing stand up and getting into that part of the art form. I was always a stand up fan. I just never thought I'd be doing it. This is all a complete surprise to me.
So folks, you don't want to miss Phil Johnson and his return after years and years. Jokers Comedy Club. So I remember at Jokers we sell fun, and Phil, looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too, Max. It's gonna be a good time, man. Can't wait to see all you guys.